Okay, so I was gonna do a aside on game theory and why I think farm tokens are useless, and the only reason the vast majority of DEXs exist is because people are irrationally propping up these farm tokens, like that it's pure Ponzonomics, and if everyone was acting rationally, the system would break down. So let's just assume that is true. Like just take my word for it, and I'll explain why that doesn't exist with DeFi kingdoms. Because in a zero sum system where if people are getting paid APR for providing liquidity, somebody is losing money in some way, which would be generally the owner of those farm tokens, people who are propping up that market. Um, in with DeFi kingdoms, because it's gamified, you actually get people can act like people can be in this system from a game correctly from a game theoretic sense, not financially but through utility. So they're willing to pay money for the token to interact with the game, and they get utility for that cost. They're having fun, right? And people pay tons of money for games, $1 trillion plus industry. So GameFi and Jewel, DeFi Kingdoms, breaks that traditional mold and that provides a backbone to the DEX where if everything hits the fan and fundamental values become more important than speculative values, people still might want to play the game if it's fun enough down the road, and that can still create some value to the Jewel token. It won't go to complete zero if the game is still fun. Um, Ultimately, that the if everyone is acting rationally scenario is still a pretty small portion of the value of the token, because realistically the game is probably not going to be that amazing in that scenario. So it's nice to know, and it's additional value, but the majority of the value is actually in the stimulation of Ponzonomics. And by that I mean there are so many different ways to make money in DeFi kingdoms, with trading heroes, with trading items, with mixing heroes. There's so many ways to speculate, and that means that makes people want to play this game, even who will lose money at the game. So they're paying for the possibility that they're going to make money, which is, I guess you could argue all dexes have that to some extent, but so it has that for the dex, but it also DeFi Kingdoms has that for the dex, but it has that also for every other aspect of the game. So yeah, that's a nice. It has game theoretical foundations for having some inherent value to its decks, and it's also attractive. Ponzi number go up, woo woo woo, like fireworks. Come buy this token, you're gonna get rich. Psychology. So, and that was actually a part of the game's design philosophy, as I'll talk about now.